Hey guys, this is Tiffany, and this is my friend and ministry partner Marissa.
Hello.
We came to talk to you guys today. Really wanting to dig in. We've been having a lot of conversation, reading a lot of articles, and doing a lot of research on Mary Magdalene. So we're super excited to kind of share some of the thoughts and studying that we've been doing around her life and kind of some of the things that have come post her death with regards to the way that we even see her today. So we want to kind of try to keep this to our God a minute, so we'll try to keep it as close to a minute as possible. But we really want to talk about the misconceptions and labels that are keeping people from their purpose in life. Have you found labels from the world or assumptions or misconceptions that the world has placed on you that are holding you back from your purpose? So with our research with Mary Magdalene, we found some really cool information, and really I think beyond it being cool, what was cool to me was that I honestly had been taught to this point that Mary Magdalene was a prostitute, and I think that came from a lot of assumption along the way of the name Mary and associating the different Marys in the Bible, that she was the Mary that wiped Jesus' feet with the perfume. So we just assumed that she was the prostitute. And with that label, I think there's, a lot that can be said about that.
So, yeah, there were rumors and assumptions made about her, not just the prostitute, but that she was Jesus's wife. But one thing that we found in Scripture is that she never stopped fulfilling her call that God put on her life. And that's evident by her being the first person that Jesus appeared to after his resurrection. So she made it from following him, having 7 demons cast out, all the way to through the crucifixion and the resurrection, and being the first to have him appear to them. Sorry.
Yeah, no, and I think it's a really good point. That I think it was just very interesting for us that, again, we had been taught over time, and I think many of us have been, that, Mary Magdalene was either, like she said, Jesus' wife, or she was a prostitute. So there's just been many assumptions, but I think that it's really cool that she did not let any of those assumptions hold her back from her purpose, that the labels that people probably placed on her, most of what we saw, we were kind of talking about this earlier this morning, and most of what we saw was really that post her death, there was more of like the labeling and then maybe some of the misconceptions, but I think the world probably hasn't changed that much, in that there's a constant, assumptions, labeling, and anytime there's someone that's part of a certain group, right, they get labeled a certain way, and, rumors. But I love that it did not stop her from what it was that God was trying to do in her life. It didn't stop her from following Jesus and being part of the group of the disciples and even taking care of them.
Yeah, it did say that she was a provider for Jesus and the 12 while she traveled. So that indicates that she was somewhat wealthy, according to the way Scripture was written and the way they portrayed that piece of her history. So.
Yeah, and I think the thing that we all just need to recognize is about our worth and our value, and not having what the world says about us or how the world labels us, not letting that dictate or deter us from what it is that God's trying to do in our lives. Ephesians 6:12 reminds us that the battle is spiritual, it is not of the flesh. And so we need to sway away from what it is that the world is saying. It's Jesus that gave his life and deemed us worthy. And so in that, you have been chosen, you have been called, and you are called for purpose. So do not let labels, assumptions, misconceptions from the world define you or deter you, because you were called. Thanks,
Amen.
guys.